Hey gang, Ronan here. As you can see in this game I am playing the, we'll call it Tier 11 Imperial Japanese Navy Destroyer Yamagiri. This is the first of the we'll call them the super ships that I have personally picked up. And, it's fun. There are some missions now that are kind of super ship specific. And so I wanted to have one to be able to work on those with, and this is going to be it. This game was pretty interesting, but I had a good game. I think I ended up with like 2,569 base XP or something. It was a good game. It's not that I lit the world on fire, and I certainly don't think I made the game, or well, I guess you could argue in this case maybe, but at the end it just comes down to trying to stay alive. But it is a good game, and I was able to do a significant amount of damage in this game. I've kind of struggled with this ship a little bit. I mean, I played the Shimakaze quite a bit, and I really like it. This is a little bit different. This feels a little more sluggish to me, and to be honest, I haven't looked up I compared the turning radius and rudder shift and all. I haven't done that. At this point, this ship is still very new to me, and I've just been kind of going by feel. You can see it has the same 12-kilometer range on the torpedoes that I like to use on the Shimakaze. Now, I'm looking at the radio location indicator, and it's telling me that there's somebody, well, in that little pie-shaped wedge that you can see there. And there we go, that's better. So I don't want to just rush right out and head for the cap or anything like that, because a lot of times there will be torpedoes crossing, sometimes even from both sides. Sometimes you'll see torpedoes come from the left and the right, crossing behind the southern side of the island in the ACAP. And I don't want to get caught there. There's also a CV in the game, although at least so far he has not been harassing me, which I was pretty happy about, because I played a few games in various other ships before I got to this one, and it seemed like no matter what destroyer I played, in the first place the CV sent aircraft just happened to be wherever I spawned. And that's always that's always an extra level of challenge when you're playing a destroyer. Now, there is something now closer to me than the GK, unless he turned around. And you can see that little shift in the... No, he didn't. So that there's a destroyer there that's closer than the GK. And it's closer than the Schlieffen. So looks like they're going to turn in. And maybe I catch the destroyer. And now I just need to head south. I don't want to get spotted with two German battleships right on top of me. Now, the bad guys, they've already secured the Charlie Cap. They're working on securing the Alpha Cap. I'm okay with that. I didn't want to get caught by the Petro, which I know is on the other side of the map, but early on I didn't know that. And I didn't want to get caught by the Alvaro de Bar. That thing's guns can be devastating. I'm going to catch the Schlieffen here with at least 3. Almost got him with the 4th one. Das Burrito eats 47,000 plus damage. And his whole idea of pushing in close and brawling probably just changed. Okay, so now I need to work on the cap a little bit, and maybe I catch the Schlieffen if he comes out the other side. Kind of a long reload on these torpedoes, but what are you going to do? The guns on this thing are definitely better than on the Shimakaze in that they reload much faster. You can see it's got a 4.5 second base reload, and there's also super ship trick of if you use the F key, you can get off 3 volleys in rapid succession, but then you have like I forget exactly what it is, like a 28 second reload or something before you can fire them again. So it's very situational. Just spotting some torpedoes for the Hanover. Hopefully he's going to be able to avoid. There's a lot of torpedoes there. and he's just kind of sitting broadside to the cap. Now, if you're a battleship player, sitting broadside to a cap that just got flipped by enemy destroyers, especially when you have a Yamagiri and 2 Shimakaze, that's a questionable call. But it looks like he's going to be able to back away from all of those things. Our GK takes out their Petro. So now we have lost to Holland, the bad guys have lost to Petro, and that's a big deal. Our gearing is in the Bravo cap, trying like mad to secure that. And here's hoping he gets it. So there's a set of torps there. There may be another set coming. I need to be really careful here. Sometimes they get thrown on both sides of an island. And I'm thinking Schlieffen may come poking out from behind that. I don't want to get detected here. But I can't really move into the cap until the Schlieffen is out of the way. At least that's what I'm thinking. There's somebody just north of me, and I see aircraft coming this way. Yeah. Okay, so that was probably Yamagiri, but who knows? You know, there might be a Shima there as well. I don't want to assume anything. Satsuma takes out the Clausewitz, and Schlieffen is making a run for it. I got a lot of torpedoes, but I'm going to hang on to him for now. You see, may turn and go behind the island. But him moving north affords me the opportunity to move into the cap. The CV is dealing with the gearing. I might be able to get some torpedoes on this Satsuma. It's going to be at max range, but you can see that if he continues on his current heading, it'll be close. I'm just going to try and get a little bit closer. Looks like he's slowing down. So, Kur first. Is he keeping the same line? No, he's turning out. So I'll just throw him there and hope he turns in, my having been spotted by this aircraft. Turn on the AA and run behind an island and just try not to get shot. There's a Shima behind me. I can see him on the map. See if I can avoid getting shot here. I'm going to smoke up. And, of course, I'm smoked up and still get blind fired. You know, these days, people are really good at blind firing. GK is going to eat some torpedoes. Looks like 3. So we're 8 minutes in, I'm sitting at 93,000 damage. No flooding, but looks like I'm going to be able to secure the cap. Our gearing has been holding his own at the Bravo cap, doing a great job as Tropic Watch and Shimakaze takes out the enemy Yamato. We are now down 2 ships there, down 4, but this is far from over. We have a 2 lead to 1, or 2 cap to 1 advantage, and a points lead, but this is all subject to change. Our Satsuma pushing up like that, he's got to be taking some fire. Midway, well, you can see the comments, right? He sat there, and there have been people telling him to get going, and he just sat there. You know, everybody on the team knows, hey, there's a sub down there, and there he is. And our Midway is in big trouble. So we're going to lose our sub here. Or, excuse me, our CV here to a destroyer. As our gearing detonates the Satsuma. I'm sure that broke that Satsuma player's heart. But the bad guys are down 5 ships and we're only down 2. And it is Shimakaze at the very south end of the map taking out our CV. Now the Shimakaze, he's almost certainly got torps. Caught me with my guns being rotated. But his torps, if I just run behind the island, aren't going to really be able to do much. Just get myself out of harm's way here. I've got 24 seconds till I can use smoke again, so I'll just angle to the Hanover. And Hanover shoots at the broadside Hanover just south of me. I'd like to push in and deal with this Shimakaze, but with the Hanover there and aircraft over me, that'd be really, really, really risky. So I'm just going to back up, get myself in a safe position. And at this point, our team have all 3 caps. So all 3 caps and a lead, and you would think, well, that's really good. But the Shimakaze takes out that Hanover that was just south of me. Why he didn't expect torpedoes to be coming, I have no idea. But he didn't. I got to be careful here, but I do have smoke again. If the aircraft comes around and detects me, I'm able to start taking fire from their Shima. And I don't want that. So I'm going to go ahead and smoke up. And here come the torps. And although I'm sure he's not there now, he was probably just on the south edge of that island. Come on, Satsuma, avoid these torpedoes, will you? Well, at least he turned in. I didn't think he was even going to do that. TV has aircraft coming. I'm going to have to just go around the other side of the island. I can't reverse out of my smoke. The Yamagiri takes out our Shimakaze, and right now they have a ship's advantage and a points advantage. And our Satsuma sitting broadside to where a destroyer's at. Gearing takes out the Yamagiri. It's now 6 ships apiece, and there is the Shima. Just going to turn out a bit here. I'm going to take double fire. Unreal. I really have to finish this guy. You can see the CV is on his way to me right now. Now I can turn out, minimize my profile. Took another 391 damage, but and so that's kill number 1, 110,000 damage more or less, and see what I can do to help the Slava and Mecklenburg with my AA. The AA on these IJN destroyers is pretty pathetic. No surprise there. And that's a wing and a prayer throwing those torpedoes out there, but I'm not going to have another target for a while, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. So our Satsuma is just pointing out that our CV player is quite experienced. I'm going to smash into the Slava. And now we know the DV's just crossed the bottom of the map. And apparently my torpedoes did not have the range that they needed. Oh, look at that! I guess they did. So I went from, oh man, to elation. But then their Schlieffen immediately takes out our gearing. So both teams now with 4 ships, and we have all the caps. But I'm not sure our Edgar is going to fare well. It's a trade there, so we hang on to the cap. It's just me and Mecklenburg, and we've got this Shima down here. So the bad guys have a one ship advantage right now, but we have everything else. We have points, we have caps. So if I can help finish this Shima before he finishes the Mecklenburg, then I just have to stay alive. There he is. He's full health. Caught him with his guns looking elsewhere. Now, we know torpedoes have got to be on their way, right? Mecklenburg takes him out. And now it's just a question of whether Mecklenburg can avoid the torpedoes, because I'm sure they're coming. If they were coming my way, I would have seen them already. And there they are. And is Mecklenburg going to be able to survive it?
Engine boost 解除.
So, someone's using a little timer to say, if nothing else changes, your team will win in 2 minutes. Which is kind of handy. Now I'm looking at, okay, stay alive. So I just need to get away from the Mecklenburg. I don't want to run just straight south. I mean, they already knew I was over this way. I can tell that the Kurfürst is in Charlie. I'm thinking I'd like to get torpedoes across the Bravo Cap. But, you know, that might have been a really bad call. But I do have smoke. And the chances of the CV being able to do 13,000 damage to me before I can smoke and maneuver in the smoke a little bit, pretty slight. So in case the GK, the Grosse Kurfürst, is heading, which you can see, that's where the indicator is pointing. In case he decides to head straight from Charlie directly across to Bravo, I want to be able to get torpedoes in that gap where you can see my radio location pointing. But there's a little bit of ground to make up there. As long as Mecklenburg is in the game, I don't have to worry about the CV chasing me. But now the CV is going to be focused on just me. And we have an almost 400-point lead, but it's not going to matter. I mean, the aircraft are so much faster than, and he knows I'm down this way somewhere, right? So I'm gonna do it. I can see the aircraft. I know they're coming. He's gonna be sweeping this whole zone. I don't really think there's any way to avoid it. So I'm going to hit the speed boost, just try and make myself invisible for as long as possible. And it's like I have a big neon sign saying DD here. A little bit of distance, but he knows exactly what he's doing. He knows the area where I'm likely to be. I'm going to begin my slowing down now. Go ahead and smoke up, turn on the AA. And I don't want to sit right here. I'm going to accelerate forward a little bit more and hope if he shoots into the smoke, he shoots behind me. Still got 10 seconds of smoke puffs. And now I just have to maneuver in the smoke. Looks like the GK just headed south. And this is all over. I might take a little damage here, but it won't be terrible. Nope. I was able to maneuver out of the way. Now if I had just reversed and not turned, he would have hit me pretty hard. But as it stands right now, the chances of him getting me, 0 to none.